Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Tek Torrent Podcast. Andrew, can you please take care of this for me? I have someone at my door. I'll be right back.
Okay. All right. Welcome to the podcast tonight. You find people in the chat. We got New England Crypto. Hey, man, how you been? Soul 7, good to see you again. Is that it? Some goblin loser, I don't know, may still be here. You guys can sound off if I missed your name. But yeah, we have kind of an unusual podcast today. So Shinji is... well, he can explain where he is, actually. He's coming back right now. Shinji, explain where you are right now.
Sorry about that, guys. Oh my god, I can't believe that happened right as we started. Yes, so hello everyone. I am currently away at my remote location, right? Currently in National Harbor, Maryland at the Katsukon Convention at the Gaylord National Resort and Convention Center. So, sorry about that. We had some random people knock on my hotel room door trying to see if this is their room, and I promptly told them it is not. So yeah, guys, this show is going to be a little bit different than the ones you're used to. For one, it's actually going to look better than me. I am broadcasting to you live, though, so none of this is pre-recorded. We're going to try to respond to the chat as best as we can. We got a great show for you guys today. Andrew has got some information about the 3090 Ti, or rather a lack of information. We're going to review and touch on Steve from Gamers Nexus's Newegg visit. He hasn't published any details yet, but we're going to catch you guys up on all that. Newegg has tweeted an updated returns policy, especially on open box items. And it's going to be interesting because... So if the timeline is correct, he should be meeting them relatively soon, like within either now to the next couple of days. But before all that, we're going to talk to Andrew about his buyer's remorse regarding his laptop and his other buyer's remorse with his Nvidia Shield. So Andrew, why don't you tell me what's going on with that?
Yeah, so last week we started things off with what's in our cart. And for me, it was an SSD and some memory for my laptop. Some of you may remember that I was on the fence if I want to go with a 1 terabyte or a 2 terabyte SSD for my laptop. And
Tell me you went with the 2.
Well, so we'll start with the memory, right? So it has
oh, great.
it has 8 gigs soldered to the motherboard. DDR4, and it has 1 SODIMM slot available. So it came with an 8 gig stick from the factory, so for a total of 16. I did end up going with 32 in addition to the 8, so I have 40 gigs now of DDR4 memory at 3200 megahertz. I went with a G-Skill SODIMM 1.2 volts. Yeah, it's pretty loose timings, but that's what you get in SODIMM form factors. But yeah, I definitely wanted it to match 3200 megahertz because that
I'll
is
keep
what,
going. I don't know why there's people at the door. Sorry.
Yeah. So I ended up installing the memory. That went without a hitch. In terms of the SSD, I was debating. Well, it had a 512 gig SSD from the factory, and for me, that's just not quite enough. Like, it's totally fine for an OS drive and some light stuff, but this laptop has a Ryzen CPU, it has a 3060 mobile GPU, and I wanted a bigger
Sorry,
SSD.
drunk ladies.
You didn't invite them in?
Oh my goodness, we're not going to touch that one.
All right, we won't touch that one.
They're all middle school kids, so
all
no.
Right. Okay. But yeah, so for the SSD, I was considering a 1 terabyte or 2 terabyte because the 512 isn't enough for me. Hey, CCcpp Tech and Magic Lucky. Good to see you guys in the chat. Yeah, so I decided on a 2 terabyte, right? And I saw that I was considering getting one at Best Buy. I was going to go with the, what was it? The Western Digital.
Real quick,
Yeah.
Real quick, Andrew, you might want to increase your audio or make it the same as mine. I guess you're kind of quiet.
Okay, hang on.
Yep. Did you already do a call out for all the people in chat?
Yeah, everyone should be accounted for. My audio
Okay.
should be substantially louder. Yeah, you might be a little louder than me, but I should be coming through pretty clear.
Yeah, let us know if we're different enough to where it's hard to hear us. So just let us know.
Yeah. So anyway, actually I'm peeking just a little bit. All right. So to revisit the story, I was planning on getting the 2 terabyte. Also bring the mic a little closer. So I was gonna get the SN750 Western Digital drive, and then the next day I went on Amazon and I saw that the Sabrent Rocket 2 terabyte NVMe drive was on sale for $169, and I was like, well, there you go. It's a great drive. I've had the 1 terabyte version before, and it's Gen 3, but you know, it's still over 3,000 megabytes read and write, which I was like, plenty, perfect, done, ordered, prime shipping. So I take apart my laptop, put in the memory, perfect, great. Go to put in the SSD, and one thing that I didn't think through that became an issue very quickly. Do you know what it was?
I'm very, very suspicious of it, but I'm gonna take a wild yonder and say that it was the wrong orientation.
No.
Oh.
The issue was that the laptop is relatively thin and by design only has room for single-sided SSDs. The 2 terabyte Sabrent Rocket is a double-sided SSD, as a lot of 2 terabyte drives are. So that was a problem. So I didn't end up going with the Sabrent Rocket 2 terabyte SSD, but I also didn't want to wait another however long to get a replacement that was the right, size from Prime. So I wasn't going to be too picky. I looked on Best Buy and I tried to find one locally that I could get same day and go and pick up that evening and just throw in there, because I didn't want to put the laptop back together without finishing the job. So I was able to find a Best Buy relatively close, like 45 minutes away.
That's relatively close for you?
That's relatively close. That had.
I'm worried to hear what's far.
Well, there were just no relatively affordable SSDs otherwise. So what I ended up going with was I went with the Samsung 970 Evo Plus, which does 3,500 megabytes read and I think 3,000 write. So it's a pretty good performer. It was $199, but I had a $25 reward certificate. So it ended up being about $5 more than the Sabrent was. Single-sided. I checked that well before I ordered it, and I got that installed no problem. It's running great. 40 gigs of RAM, 2 terabytes of storage, and the job is done as the laptop is complete. So that was my SSD debacle that I had this week. But
you said 40 gigs of RAM.
Yeah.
I'm sure you meant something else.
No, 40 gigs.
So you have 2 unmatching sticks in there. You
recall,
heathen.
If you recall,
you heathen.
If you recall, 8 gigs are soldered. There's 1 SODIMM slot. 8 gigs soldered plus a 32 gig SODIMM is 40.
Okay, heathen.
All right.
Unmatching sticks.
You want me to just desolder the 8 gigs and solder on bigger modules? Would that make you happy?
Look, you gotta do it right, man. You gotta send it to CryptoShape. He will desolder the chips and put on DDR6X chips in there for you instead. So it'll be much faster.
That would actually be interesting to see what would happen if you actually put bigger DDR4 chips on there.
I'm assuming if it's the memory controller is what probably matters, because after the module is just a module. The memory controller is what communicates and makes sure everything's working. So I would say it probably wouldn't work because the memory controller is probably designed for that 8 gig.
Well, you could get this laptop in a 32 gig spec with 16 soldered. So I don't know if there's vacant pads or if there's just they use bigger modules, chips. But anyway, that's all said and done. Laptop's done, working great. What else? So I also talked about last week my Nvidia Shield purchase, which is a streaming device. If you guys don't know, got the Nvidia Shield TV Pro. It works really well as a streaming device, but part of the reason I spent $200 on a streaming device was because I wanted to use it as a Plex media server, which is an advertised feature of the product. Since purchasing it, Plex media server has not worked for me at all. It has been an issue in the community since their latest update, which introduced Android 11 to the device. They released a fix that supposedly addressed Plex media server concerns and storage permissions, which are new in Android 11, which apparently caused some of the issues. Updated to that, still didn't work. So Plex media server does not work for me. I reached out to Nvidia support because, that's what they're there for. And it's either this thing works or I return it. And they said, well, did you get the hot fix? And I said, what hot fix? And they said, oh yeah, 2 days ago we released a hot fix since that update. And go to this go to this Google form, put in your serial number, and you'll be in line for the hot fix. So I put in my serial number, and apparently the update will be pushed through in 24 to 48 hours. And the rep was assuring me that this will be the solution to my problems, which I am less than confident is true.
maybe they contracted all their customer service through Newegg.
Yeah. It sounds like the same guy who handles the return at Newegg does the live chat for Nvidia.
Was he concerned about your thermal paste?
No. He said run that K5 stuff on there. I don't know what he's talking about. But...
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah. All right. Let's
K5 jelly, right?
Yeah. All right. Let's see what's going on in chat. It's been a little bit. We've got some chats going on. You wanna take that? Yeah.
So we got some people in chat. Let's see. Magic Lucky. Oh, sound levels are fine. Blah blah blah. Yes. I guess he was. So CCcpp Tech says, "Oof! Wow, no way to run a shim or a washer under the drive to raise it up a longer screw. Probably not because the way it was designed.
There's another threaded hole where the other side of the SSD touches. If you were to be running a smaller SSD, it is. There's no way to do it and have the chassis close. It actually uses a thermal pad, and that sits on the bottom of the case and then touches the SSD itself, so that the SSD is cooled by the chassis. So yeah, there wasn't any room on the bottom of where the SSD goes. For it to sit flat and secure like it's supposed to, it needs to be single-sided.
You could have just gave it to me and I could have just machined a pocket out of for you.
Yeah, well,
Let's see, going on in the chat. CCcpp Tech says, I never understood why they didn't just run 2 slots on the board. Space saving, but I'd rather have 2 slots. Yeah, I agree. I think it's mostly for, your laptop's kind of targeted for people that won't mess with it, right? They just buy it, use it, then they throw it away and buy a new one.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting that they do half the memory soldered and half SODIMM. I think that might also be part of it being relatively thin. Because the bigger Lenovo laptops do run 2 SODIMMs, but the ones, this is a ThinkBook, This has only one SODIMM, and there's another one. I forget what it is. I think it's the Legion Slim. Uses the same board, and it's the same situation. So, yeah, I think it's more space constraints. The cooling is substantial, which I'm happy about, but it doesn't leave a whole lot of room for actual hardware. So I think that's what it comes down to. At least it's still gets me dual channel at least, so not losing performance on it.
Yeah, I think a lot of it might have to do with manufacturing, because just like the thing with Tesla we were talking about last week, how if you make a whole bunch of the same thing and you software gimp it essentially. In this case, you make a whole bunch of, instead of making multiple laptops with different models, different slot configurations, you have the same tools, you have the same die, you have the same chassis for thousands. And that's a lot cheaper than making a laptop with 2 slots and one with only 1 slot, Yeah. Actually, Xavier Arrow is exactly saying that, actually. He said, adding memory slots cost money to engineer, space access, and will raise price. Yeah. Oh, hey, John Z, how you doing? Welcome to the live stream. Good to see you here. I have been pretty busy, so I haven't really been as active in the Discord. Been getting that really, really nice camera action going. So, let's see here. Anything else? Yeah, I think that's it for chat for now.
We got a few others here.
Yeah. Did more stuff come in?
Yeah. All right. So let's see.
Oh, it's starting to update now.
CCcpp Tech says, "How do you like the keyboard on that model and the trackpad?" I like both. It's a ThinkBook 16P, and before this, I had the ThinkBook 13S. Which is the same keyboard, basically, but the 16 adds a number pad, which I do prefer. I like the number pad. I use it often. In terms of the key travel and typing on it, it's very predictable. It's not too shallow. It's not quite ThinkPad quality, if that's what you're used to. But other than, compared to basically any other laptop that I've used, this is a great keyboard in my opinion. Very predictable. I can type without looking and get as accurate and as fast as I would like to type with it. I don't do a ton of typing in terms of like words per minute where I have to write essays and novels and all that, but it's as far as a laptop keyboard goes, other than a ThinkPad, it's the best I've used. And the touchpad is large enough without being in the way, and accurate and responsive.
Yeah, I mean, so I got a Razer Blade Pro 17, and I don't know, Razer Blade's trackpads have been pretty decent as of late. Their first few models sucked, but they're getting better. CCcpp Tech says, the major drawback on my MSI GP66 is a terrible trackpad, LOL. Yeah, I don't know, laptop peripherals have not been amazing like traditionally, but they've been getting better, that's for sure. I think the Apple laptops usually have some of the nicest peripherals, but the butterfly switch recalls they've been having, that even they have problems.
Yeah, I mean, they're going with shallower and shallower key travel, which I'm not a huge fan of. I like there to be a little bit of travel, and I'm not really
a thin and light. It's gonna be a touchpad.
What's that?
Pretty soon it's just gonna be a touchpad.
Yeah.
Like a display.
Yeah. But no pressing, I know the way it goes
tapping.
With thin and lights is everything has to be smaller. And nothing against Apple products personally. I'm not a huge fan of them or the company's strategies in selling new products, but I do know that, in terms of keyboards, Apple MacBooks and ThinkPads are probably the 2 best in the market. All right, so looks like we're caught up on chat. What do you want to move on to?
Yeah, so Let's take a look here. Let's talk about the 3090 Ti. Actually, hold on. Before that, I'm going to talk about a little bit about me. So, I got my gimbal working here at the show. And for those of you who know, I posted some pictures in Gen Chat. It's the DJI Ronin RS2. Let me just type something here real quick. 25. Okay, yeah, so it's a DJI Ronin RS2, and it works great. It's very powerful, but it's got some strange, so the pan, which if you're holding it and the camera's looking like this, it's a little bit off, like all the time. The center line is like this. It's permanently off by like 2 degrees. And I've been trying to adjust it, but I've been having to work with this. I've kind of gotten used to holding the gimbal like at an angle.
Well, can't you, is there not a joystick?
Manually adjust it? Yeah, so that's what I've been doing. Every time so there's a double tap trigger that puts all axis back to 0, 0, 0, 0. It's really useful when you do a lot of movement.
Yeah.
The joystick, so I just carefully move the joystick slowly to make sure it's in line.
So when you set it to 0, it's offset?
It's offset. The actual pan axis is a little bit to the right by about 2 degrees, I would say.
There might be some type of calibration you can do and just basically teach it, oh, this is 0. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
At least that's how it is on the drones. Like when you have to do a recalibration to tell the drone that, and you have to like rotate it in on every axis, and it learns what, straight up and down and level is.
Yeah. It's similar to that, except that there's an encoder inside, and I think the encoder detector is slipped or something. So the other axis, oddly enough, the other axis has a offset feature where you can manually input degrees and it will make that the new 0, but the pan axis doesn't have it. So it's a little annoying. But other than that, so CCcpp Tech says, oh yeah, I was wondering if you'd used it yet. Could be that it's an issue with being refurbished. Yeah. I am going to contact them and find out because it's supposed to be manufacturer certified refurbished. Unless it came from Newegg, of course, then they probably just slammed it back in the box. Just joking. When I got it, it was like brand new, shrink wrapped and everything. Like literally everything was brand new, like you just bought it. So I don't know if they just re-dipped it in anodizing. I don't know. But so another thing, while I'm working the con this time around, we're in a large convention hall. There's a lot of people here. I will say it appears that people have been pent up. There's a lot of people here, more than expected in my opinion, and it's crowded for sure. There's a ton of people everywhere. I might post some pictures and videos in chat later on if you guys want in Gen Chat for our Discord. But there's a lot of people here, so it's been kind of nice to see everyone coming back to the convention scene. I'm just gonna catch up on chat, Andrew, then we'll move on to our topics for the night.
Yeah.
Let's see. Oh yeah, New England Crypto, you're on mobile. Yeah, it's you gotta type it out all the way, otherwise it won't tag people. It's really annoying. I wish they would just enable this as a feature like on the desktop. I don't know why they don't. It's kind of dumb in my opinion. Andrew, did you have anything else before we move into our topics for the night?
No, that's about it for me. So we can jump into some news or not news or discussion, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, let's talk about the lack thereof news for the 3090 Ti there.
Yeah, 3090 Ti, the latest GPU to be coming out, maybe. Yeah, allegedly. So it was January that, CES 2022, Nvidia announced the 3050, gave some details on that, and teased the 3090 Ti with the promise that more information would be coming that month. Well, another month has come. We are almost 3/4 of the way through with no new information on the 3090 Ti. So with no information directly from Nvidia, rumors are bound to occur. So Nvidia has contacted some. I believe they had an interview with The Verge where they literally said something along the lines of, "We have no new information to disclose at this time." So, yeah. So they're not actually saying much. There are still rumors happening regularly. So the latest thing we saw was that there was a Galax card in another country that was caught in an advertisement, like a flyer, I guess. And whatever the conversion was, it ended up being like $3,800. But that aside,
Oh man.
that aside, yeah, basically we're trying to figure out why this card's getting delayed and why we don't have any information. So for Nvidia to tease it, it's kind of not like them to not have an answer or a follow through or something. It's possible that they're just waiting. They're holding out for AMD to release their like refresh of a faster card for them to just, stomp that out. Or maybe they have an actual issue in manufacturing. So the rumors are that they don't have enough GPUs, they can't get that many binned chips that perform with all the cores enabled. Also hitting the new higher boost clocks, and also staying within the new 450 watt alleged TDP. So there are all those factors. And then there's issues of the memory. So the memory on the 3090 Ti is supposedly going to be 12 2 gigabyte modules, as opposed to the 3090, which is 24 1 gigabyte modules, which means that it's going to be a single-sided memory board. What that also means is all the heat from the memory modules is going into the main side of the card, the main cooler, not the backplate. So that could also be a factor, an issue potentially. I'm not sure if those memory modules use any more power, but if so, then the cooler is being tasked with a little bit more heat to dissipate. The fact that the TDP is higher anyway between the die and the memory, it's more heat to get rid of. If the backplate's not doing it, the cooler is under more load, under more stress, however you want to look at it. The cooler has to do more work. So maybe that's an issue. Maybe they can't keep these cards cool.
Especially with the rumored wattages it's taking.
Yeah, exactly. An extra 100 watts is not a negligible amount. So,
it's a lot.
Yeah. So if they were just, basically taking 3090 PCBs, throwing on this new die and new memory and calling it a day, the coolers they've been using on these 3090s might not be up to the task. Considering that a lot of these coolers were on cards as low as 3070s, and basically just, recycled from every model. Maybe they just said, yeah, stick them on the 3090 Ti too, it'll be fine. Maybe not.
It'll be fine, they said.
And another rumor is that some of these cards are exhibiting memory issues in specific use cases. So whether or not that's true, really don't know, but that would be an explanation for the card being announced and then basically realizing late in the process that, oh yeah, it's having some issues in these one-off use cases. We can't release the card until that's resolved.
Yep.
In any event, Nvidia has stayed silent on this. It's been about a month since CES, so yeah, I would anticipate they'll make some type of formal announcement in the near future, just because they have to. There's demand from the community for an answer. So whether or not we get one this month, I don't know. But I would say, with an announcement in January, we probably were anticipating this card to hit shelves in February or March, let alone know if it's coming out, when it's coming out, and how much it costs. That kind of information we assumed we would know by now. So hopefully we learn something in the next month or two, because whether or not this card is greatly anticipated, they did announce it. Well, they did tease it. So.
Yeah, they did tease it, and it makes you wonder what kind of issues they're having. So I got some information here directly from Jen Sang, the CEO. It says, quote, with the focus on gamers, we have taken steps to ensure that true gamers will be able to acquire stock on launch. Because of this, we are enforcing, I'm joking guys, this is not a quote, we are enforcing the LHR on all 3090 Ti's. We're having issues implementing it, and that is why your cards are being delayed. I'm joking, that is not a real quote, just to be clear. However, I'm making a joke saying that they always go with the play that we're for the gamers, man. We're for the gamers getting graphics cards, and you know, we're for the little guy that has $3,800 to buy one of these 3090s. Yeah, I wouldn't be too surprised if Nvidia releases some kind of information on that, and if they do, you heard it here first. Just kind of keeping up with chat here. Soul7 says, due to human malware. Yes, that's exactly the reason, probably.
Yeah. I mean, I heard that the AIBs were reaching out to journalists to see if they heard anything new about like NDAs lifting on the 3090 Ti. So
yeah.
Not great. Not great.
Yeah, John Z says, seems like they might be having issues and they don't want to divulge that information just yet. Yeah, like I said, that quote I said that I just made up, I think that's more along the lines of the truth. At least that's a rumor I heard from a different AIB partner person, that they're having issues implementing the LHR thing, so that's why it's being delayed. Because apparently they had one, they made it and went out, and the drivers didn't lock it.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Yeah, that's a rumor. But it did come from a source I believe to be somewhat
You don't
reliable.
need to LHR a $3,800 GPU.
Yes, you do. Otherwise, these damn miners are gonna take these cards, and then the gamers.
It costs more than the actual mining cards, like the dedicated mining cards.
The $5,000 cards. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. Is it that much?
It's actually that much. The
okay.
CHX 170.
Yeah, but that thing's pretty legit.
Yeah, it's pretty hot. It's pretty legit.
It's pretty efficient. So.
CCcpp Tech says, I wonder if they're going to use the new PCI connector, wanting and waiting on more PSUs to launch. Technically, you just need an adapter. Companies like EVGA and CableMod already make OEM style direct modular connections, so I don't think that's it really.
Well,
at least I don't think so.
I think he might be referring to the PCIe Gen 5 connector. The Nvidia connector on the Founders Editions 3060 Ti, 3070, 3080, 3080 Ti, 3070 Ti, 3090.
All Founders Editions.
Yeah, all the Founders Editions have the, 12-pin?
12-pin microfit.
Yeah, so the Gen 5 is just like that, but it adds 4 more pins that are like an aside. They're backwards compatible. And we should anticipate that on probably the next generation of cards. Whether or not we see that on AIB cards this time around, who knows? I think we'll probably see less custom boards on this card specifically. It'll just be easier for AIBs to make cards off the reference design, not the founder's design, but the reference design that Nvidia provides to AIBs. Mainly because they're probably not going to sell in great quantities, because there probably won't be great quantities. That's why
they're going to be $4,000 a piece.
Yeah. So, we'll see what happens. Honestly, I'm not really sure. I think it's cool to, like, most people don't really care about the top tier card, but I think it's cool when you can just squeeze out more performance. I think the best thing at anything is kind of cool. It sounds like these are kind of like A6000s, but with 24 gigabytes of GDDR6X instead of 48 gigabytes of GDDR6. But we'll see if that's true.
Yeah, regardless of what actually happens, I am curious as to know what kind of cover story or information they're going to say, because Nvidia is going to make some kind of response, or they're going to release the card probably next month or sometime this year. Soul7 in chat says, TekShinji, I keep seeing articles covering Nvidia's quarterly statements, so I bet they don't want to release the issue publicly to try and keep stock prices up. That is probably one of the absolute reasons that they don't want to publicize any issues. They don't have to tell anyone about anything. That's the thing with when it's all about the money, right? So yeah, that's all we have really for the 3090 Ti. Basically, lack of information and lack thereof news. And yeah, someone said Xavier Arrow. That's bull beep. Sorry, gamers first. Yeah, that's so true. That's so true. Andrew, did you have anything else on the 3090 Ti?
No, but real quick.
Yeah.
You might not be able to get a 3090 Ti, but soon you'll be able to get an Intel GPU. Intel desktop GPUs, their new Arc GPUs, should be hitting the market in Q2, Q1 for the laptop versions. So you should be seeing those very soon if you're not already. But yeah, desktop GPUs from Intel in Q2 estimated to sell about 40 million GPUs between mobile and desktop. Yeah, so that's not bad. That includes the laptops, basically all the GPUs, embedded, whatever. But yeah, so we'll see some desktop GPUs. They're starting to release a little bit more information on that stuff. I guess it was running Tomb Raider just fine in a NUC. So yeah. So anyway, I mean, more is better. So having more available cards, regardless of who makes them, is a good thing, because someone's going to be buying them, which means they're not buying something else, which means those cards are on shelves for someone else. Yeah.
Oh, right. Yep.
Well, we'll see. But that's really all there is for the Intel information. Just to expect desktop GPUs in Q2, which is, it might be a red letter day for Intel.
They also allegedly say that the performance similar to a 3070, which is pretty darn good.
That would be on their top tier.
Yeah, their top.
Model.
Yeah, to be clear, their best models. I think what Intel is going to kill it at is probably power efficiency.
Who knows, man? Maybe I think
they're
using
Iris
TSMC 6 nanometer, but I don't think they're going to be that bad, honestly. I don't think they're going to be too power hungry.
I think that's going to be their like king of the hill thing. Like their thing is going to be where power, like they take less energy for frames produced versus Nvidia or AMD. I think that's going to be their saving grace. But even though they kind of suck.
Even so, let's just say, like, at least up until like the 3090, I never really thought twice about TDP of a card for a gaming
That's a
rig.
good point.
Good
point.
Like if I'm just playing games on it, like, a couple hours a day maybe, I don't really
Unless
care
you live
if
in California.
Yeah. But like, I don't care if it pulls 500 watts because, it doesn't really affect me. I'm playing my game. As long as my rig isn't overheating as a result, I don't care how much power a GPU pulls. But yeah, like I don't care if it's more efficient, less efficient, watts per frame rate, etc. That stuff just never even came to mind until recently, where it's like people are talking about the crazy power. And it's worth talking about, not so much for like the efficiency of the card, but the power demands of the card might lead you to need a better power supply, for instance.
That's true.
So anyway,
and, that's scam to buy more power supplies.
Yeah, man. Let's see if we can get one bundled in a Newegg shuffle.
Oh my God, with a gigabyte power supply.
That's just what we need.
That's exactly what we need for Newegg's reputation.
Yeah. Speaking of Newegg, you want to segue? Not into our sponsor. We did not get sponsored by Newegg.
Speaking of Newegg, thanks to our sponsor Newegg, we guarantee to rip you off and take your money, and you're going to like it. Brought to you by this plastic cup. Just as powerful, just as reliable.
Wow.
So yeah, going on to our next subject of the night. Let me just type a note here real quick. Yeah, going into our next subject of the night, Newegg and Gamers Nexus. So let me give you a quick recap for those that don't know or you've been living under a rock in the tech community. Steve from Gamers Nexus essentially got scammed from Newegg by getting a motherboard that they never even opened, right? They received it, they're like, oh, we don't need some. They shipped it back. They didn't even open the box. Newegg denied their RMA, saying that it had bent pins, and Steve was like, WTF? We didn't even open the darn thing. You shipped it to us like this, all right? So that's what happened with that. A lot has happened since. Steve has actually already had a trip going out to California for some testing on specialized equipment and learning how to use equipment on their wind tunnel testing and all that. So he figured, hey, while I'm here, I'm going to schedule an appointment to meet Newegg, since like a bad ex, they keep contacting him, right? So he told Newegg a date, location, and time, and all that good stuff. He has not made that public yet because he doesn't want, all that stuff to happen. They did tell him they agreed to meet him, and they told him who they're going to be meeting with, all that good stuff. So as of right now, that is all scheduled and may have even already happened. We don't know. But it's supposedly, allegedly, is going to happen here very, very soon, and Steve's definitely going to have information about that. Of course, when that does come out, we will definitely be talking about it and breaking down what happened and the story thus far. That is the current state of affairs with Newegg. Now, Newegg also released a Twitter post showing an updated policy of their open box and RMA processes, and how, oh, we're sorry, we got caught. I made that last part up.
Oh, they did say that?
Yeah. They said, we're sorry, we got caught. So, I don't know if you guys follow me on Twitter, but when they made that statement and they said all this stuff, my response to them on Twitter was, so my question is, why are you guys doing something about it after you get caught? Little harsh, but true. It's very true. So that's the current state of affairs with that. They released that Twitter post about the updated policy, and of course, this doesn't change the fact that they're still having issues with the shuffle, people still getting scammed, and of course, the tons and tons of consumer complaints that they've been getting. So that's the current saga with Newegg, and I mean, we've read in the comments that video we released. If you haven't seen it, that came out a couple of weeks ago. It's called like Newegg Scam and Newegg Scam for Gamers Nexus Response. A lot of people have been commenting how they've also had bad experiences with Newegg as well. So if you guys have had an experience with Newegg, please let us know in the live chat or in the comments down below if you're watching the either podcast clips or the rerun.
Yeah, and so, people always people always talk more about bad experiences than they do good. We'd love to hear if you had a good experience as well. Just as another data point. I don't think I've heard a story where like a Newegg return went smoothly, right? So like for me, I returned an AIO cooler one time, a Corsair. It was opened and it had an issue. I returned it, and I was reaching out to Newegg like every couple of days. What's up? It shows delivered to you. Oh yeah, we haven't processed that return yet. Should be tomorrow. Oh yeah, we haven't processed that return yet. Should be tomorrow. This went on for like 2 weeks. So like, I think it was 3 weeks or 4 weeks maybe before I actually got a refund. So not great. I did get a refund without like, I didn't have to fight them about whether the return was valid, but they just really took their time with it. So, it's with an AIO, it's a little different. They can't, say, oh, it's got bent pins. No, they can't pull that
Your AIO has bent hoses.
Yeah, they'll send it back to me just destroyed.
They'll just send you a different one and say that was the one you sent.
Exactly. But anyway, in contrast, as I was saying at the beginning of the stream, I upgraded my laptop with a new SSD, but I was an idiot and bought a double-sided one before checking if it would fit, so I had to return that. I returned that to Amazon. I dropped it off at UPS for free, and by the end of the day, I got a notification that my refund was processed and back on my original payment method. So why can't Newegg be more like that and actually just not only accept the return, but process it in a timely manner and refund it? That would be great. I think all online retailers should strive to be as good as Amazon in the returns department.
I agree with that. I mean, I know a lot of people have very strong opinions about Amazon as a company, but the matter of the fact is, guys, if you don't like it, you don't have to shop there. And unfortunately, for me at least, me personally, I don't like how they do certain things as well. But the convenience factor for me is very, very convenient. And I am not a proponent of anything that they do that's negative, but I don't know what to tell you guys. Unless another competitor comes along that offers the same convenience, to me, it's worth it. Going on that, Andrew, your experience with Newegg is not uncommon. It appears a lot of people have these issues. A quick story with me. Returning something on Newegg is very difficult. Like, they don't make it easy, right? You got to go through a couple of steps. You got to get an RMA. On Amazon, it's basically automated. You don't have to wait for an RMA. It's just insta RMA approved, and you get to send it back.
Yep.
And, I mean, yeah, they might lose some money on that, but overall, it makes me as a consumer know that if I buy something and for whatever reason I don't want it, I could return it, makes me more willing to buy it in the first place. So I think that is something that Newegg might have to really look into, see how much shrink they're really losing on people that do bad returns versus people that will just go ahead and buy something and keep it rather than go to Amazon and buy it for the convenience.
Yeah.
Let's catch up on the chat here. Let's see. Soul7 says, "You're not guilty until convicted. Getting caught equals conviction." Oh, that is sad. Oh, yeah, that's the way things work, right? Oh, hey, Tyson, how you doing, sir? Welcome to the live stream. Thanks for coming by. Bacon, eggs, and hash, how you doing, man? And another person, I don't know if I've seen you before. They just screamed my name. How you doing, sir? Tiger Gaming and Crypto. Let's see, just kind of reading on the chat. Tyson says, had a CPU that did not function. They tried to deny because the packaging was not OEM. I shipped it back in the same generic cardboard box they shipped it to me in. Wow. That's I mean, it's almost like they had a policy to like deny returns no matter what, as best as you can. Because, I mean, it's not even giving the customer, being that there's got a lot of scams, a lot of problems, I get that. But it's almost like they just don't trust customers off the bat.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, there are some percentage of returns that will be either just not, like, shouldn't have been
shrink.
returned, that like weren't defective, but returned as defective, and then a number that will be fraudulent. But that's part of doing business, and you know, you make more money by taking care of the good customers than you do by screwing them over.
Yeah, those good customers will come back and spend more money.
Yeah. So, yeah, I don't know. I would love to see a spreadsheet that shows the analytics of Newegg sales since this whole thing's gone live in the past few weeks.
They're not going to release that.
No, I know, but it would be just amazing to see the drop off. I would love to see that, honestly.
I don't know how to pronounce this person's name. Mutal Bastask? Am I saying the right, Andrew? Mutal Bastask?
I think
it's got some the English pronunciation.
It might be yeah, that's a tough one, man. That's a tough one.
Yeah, let me know in chat.
It could be like
how to say it.
Mutlu.
Mutlu. Matlu Bastes. Bastes? Bastes? I'm not sure. Let me know in chat phonetically how to say it. I'll say it right as best as I can. He says, I don't know. They say, I hate Amazon as a seller, but as a consumer, but great as a consumer. I want to say 100%. I am also a certified Amazon store, not under TekShinji, just different account. And I sell stuff there all the time. Yeah, it is very expensive. It's like 20%. By the time you're all said and done, that you lose 20% of the sale. It's very, very expensive. And people can literally, they have the power of God. They could say they never got it, and then you're done. You lose the product and your money.
Yeah.
So, what were you going to say, Andrew?
No, you got to be careful as a seller. They're not, I mean, they're a buyer focused marketplace in terms of profits. They're looking for their own profit, not that of the seller. I do think they hold sellers to a higher standard though, which is a good thing, so that there are less scam sellers. They don't last very long on Amazon. If they're, selling fake products or whatever they're selling, if it's not legit, if they're not actually shipping, whatever, they're not going to last long on Amazon, which is a good thing for the buyers.
Yeah, 100%.
One thing real quick, in terms of that, it can be tough as a seller on Amazon. I haven't done this personally, but I've heard it. Like, if you put your item on sale, there's a good chance that Amazon matches the price with Prime, and you basically get no business if Amazon also has that item. That's one thing.
Yeah, that's some really anti-consumer stuff, like Amazon Basics. Hello, they just copy the best-selling thing because they know everything, right? They know exactly what it is, what the sales volume, how much money you're making. They know literally everything about your business, and I think that's a little too much power. And I'm for smaller governments and all that, but like that just seems a little over the line, man. It's like, hey Andrew, yeah, you could sell on my platform. We'll charge a nominal fee. Oh wow, your cup is selling really well. We'll just make the same damn thing and sell it too, and we'll put Prime on it and put it above your search listings too. Like it'll come up first. Yeah,
for sure. Or it'll be the same product page if it's the same product, but you'd have to go through view other sellers to even find yours to add it to the cart. Mine.
And because we're Amazon, we'll just dock you, or we'll just claim that you had an inappropriate listing practice and take you off the store for legitimate reasons. I've heard so many stories about that. So many. But there's go ahead.
Okay, no, go ahead.
I was gonna say, just real quick, there's literally people that do that for a living. They go on Amazon, they find things that are selling well. They have contacts in Amazon, right? There's news stories about this. Look it up. They have contacts at Amazon. And they call them, be like, hey, so and so, get rid of them. They go, oh, your account had some whatever illegal practice of this one decimal place was whatever. Their account's gone, banned, done. No appeal. Okay, done. You are gone forever, right? Everything you have is gone. Then they create their own store and sell the same product or something cheaper that they had spun off in China, and then they're done. And there's these people all around the world that make millions and millions of dollars and never leave their office doing that. And it's really unfortunate because it's like insider trading. Like, honestly, it's like the most scummiest thing ever.
So we are going to be wrapping up the stream very shortly. We do have in chat, his name is sort of like Mootlu.
What? Did he say somewhere?
Yeah, Mootlu.
Mootlu.
Yeah. So,
really?
Okay. All right, Mootlu. That works for us. Just one more thing on Newegg is there. One more thing to not shop on Newegg for would be from the third-party sellers on their marketplace, because it seems like they encourage and let just about any scam on their own marketplace, regardless. I saw someone linked to it last week. I saw a Chinese seller on the Newegg marketplace, but they just mix it in with the search results. A 16 terabyte flash drive for like $50, and like It was in the title,
Dude,
it was
it's
in the
legit.
description, it was in the pictures. Like, they were selling this as a 16 terabyte flash drive. Wasn't a typo. And if you
Dude,
don't
I
know the
have it. It
scam,
works. I
if you
plug
don't
it in
know
and
the
it shows 16
scam,
terabytes.
yeah, you plug it in and it shows 16 terabytes, and then you write some data to it, and all of a sudden, all your data's gone because there was never 16 terabytes. You'd be probably lucky if it was 16 gigabytes, but more likely it's probably like a 1 gigabyte flash drive that just writes
16
over
megabytes.
and over and over again. So, yeah, you gotta. Newegg is just, they're still living in the past. You know, they should have a marketplace that gets rid of those shady sellers in the first place. They should be handling returns like returns are the way returns should be. You know, if they're worried about fraudulent returns, they should just be, you know, they should be monitoring serial numbers in and out. You know, they should have accountability in terms of, you know, they shouldn't be blaming the customer for damage. They should be checking the cameras in their own warehouse. You know, not to say a consumer can't damage a product, but it seems like fairly often it gets damaged after they receive it. So yeah, they really need to be looking more at themselves than waging war with the customers that support their business.
Or at least do a better job of not getting caught.
Yeah,
I mean, I don't know what else to say. Like, you can't be that stupid and leave the dang thing on the motherboard and send it out. Like,
yeah,
it's like robbing a store, taking a selfie, posting on Instagram, then leaving your handprints on everything, then leaving your ID on the floor. Like, you know, it's like they literally shot themselves in the foot and the head.
yeah. So that's pretty much it for the stream, guys. I don't know, Shinji, do you want to close it out? Is it that time?
I think it's that time, guys. So the stream this week is going to be not as long as usual because I am, if you can tell, I'm not at my normal desk. I am in the Resort and Convention Center in Harbor, Maryland at the Katsucon Convention. If you're around or if you're here, come by and say hello. I'll give you something cool for IRL in-person visits. So yeah, I don't have really much anything else. I think we hit all of our topics for tonight. And let's see. Just to kind of review, we talked about the 3090 Ti. We talked about Gamers Nexus and Newegg and some anti-consumer policies from Newegg, all that good stuff. So let me just quickly look at the chat. If you see anything, Andrew, please let me know. I don't really see anything directed toward us, just general conversation. So
Yeah.
with that, guys, I think we're going to go ahead and close the stream real soon here. Andrew, do you have anything else?
No, but if you guys like hanging out in the chat during our live streams, be sure to check out our Discord. It will be linked in the description. And there is a suggestion area for content suggestions in the Discord. So if there was a topic you wanted to see covered during the live stream, you can always post it in there, and we're definitely going to take a look at it. So yeah, if you guys want to sort of be part of the conversation, you can always reach out to us through the Discord and drop some topics our way.
Yeah, and that's the best way to try to get topics that you guys want to see for us to see it. That's like the best way. Suggest in a comment, that's great. But in our Discord, in the content topic suggestions area, that's the best way to try to get it to us, to get us to look at it, research it, and see if it's something, how much you guys want to see, if it's something we'll do on the podcast.
Yep.
And if you guys didn't know, as Andrew was saying, we do have a community Discord. It is called the TekShinji Community Discord. It is linked in the description below, and it will also be in a pinned comment if you're watching this after the fact. So go ahead and get joined. We got a lot of cool people there. It's a lot easier to get in now. I turned off part of the verification system because it was just too difficult for some. Got a lot of great people, a lot of experience, got a lot of water cooling projects in there. And I do a lot of Discord exclusive, Discord only live streams when I'm making something, repairing something, filming, working on videos. So you get to see future content before it comes out. All right, so with that, guys, this has been the Tek Torrent Podcast. We are live every Saturday at 6 p.m., regardless of where I am in the world. So we'll see you next week. Same bad time, same bad channel. Take care, everyone. Bye.